Hello, Aries. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Aries is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It's totally free, doesn't cost you anything. If there's anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Aries, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And here we have a Six of Swords. This is very structured, very ordered, a very good place to start. I think we've got plans. Yeah, let's put this into some context. Let's see where these plans might be taking us. We've got a Five of Wands now. We've got our Queen of Cups. We've got our Eon. Judgment, rebirth, reawakening, baptism by fire. So this is, I think, really a new, I think it's a new plan for you. And there we've got the Hierophant, the Taurus energy, very fixed and stable kind of cooperation, the wisdom, the planning, all of the kind of the forward progress, right? But this is going to be interesting. Now we got more fire over here with the Princess of Wands, a Five of Cups, a Six of Pentacles, and, the Master Magician here, the Magus card. Very nice. I think you are moving into a new plan. Maybe it might be a plan B or a plan C even. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. Whoa. Those two came out. We got to look at them. Another Five of Cups I see, and it looks like there is an ace underneath that. So that, I think, is something very significant to you, and that was right when I was saying how this might be a plan B or a plan C. Here's the mystery card. We're going to put Tiny Bob Ross right on top. Happy little Bob. And we're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any point during the show you feel like you know what that card is or you have a hunch, I want you to put your prediction down in the comments, right? Let's make it interactive. Let's make it a group exercise in intuition. Yeah. All right, let's take a look around the room here. We had these two that came out. Oh, and see, we had a repeat of the Five of Cups. So very important. Now, through the Five of Cups, I think... and that was right when I was saying that this might be plan B, plan C, it might be EFG, who knows. And I think what's going on here is this was emphasized, and I think you're probably shaking your head because your original plan, now I like to say, I don't know who said this first, but life is what happens when we're busy making plans, right? So I think what happened was you had a particular goal in mind. There's a life that you want, I imagine, right? And we thought we kind of knew how to get there. We thought we had the steps. Well, first I'm going to do this and then that, and then I wait a week and then I do this and this and this, and then it's just really orderly, right? But I think something happened. I think there was an interruption. I think life happened. And it might have to do with an older female energy. I'm kind of getting mom, grandma, older sister, an auntie, an older cousin, something like this. Something to do with this older female energy that has sort of disrupted the plans. I think that's something that is previous to today, maybe months, years ago. But now we're kind of on, the next version of our plan, that we're trying it again. And we're getting that Five of Cups again. So it feels to me like we have to realize that our plans that we make, they can never be more than really a rough guideline for what we want to do in life, right? I have an idea, well, I got to do this and this first, maybe save a little money, and I've got to move over here and do this. I got to talk to that person, and I put these pieces together, and then, in 5 or 10 years, there's my end goal, right? That's nothing more than a rough outline, because there will always be something that kind of throws you off course. And that's the Five of Cups. And Five of Cups, and then another Five of Cups. And what do? Ace of Pentacles. We start again. we just pick up where we are, and we move forward. We adapt, right? So let's look at these energies again. We'll talk about them individually. We have major arcana, major arcana, major arcana. Now, this is exactly what I'm talking about. The emergence into this new way. And see, the Eon or Judgment card is always a portal to a future. It's always kind of a definite decision to move forward. And it's kind of like, in this case, different timelines, right? It's kind of like you go through, and of course I watched like a time travel show, the Bodies, I think it's called, on Netflix. It took us a couple months, but we finally finished it. Maybe not that long. Maybe it was only a couple weeks. But the point is, it's a time loop. And so I feel like the Eon card is us, we're starting the time loop again. And we start with our plans, and we try to stick to the plan as much as possible. And this is our expectation, that plans are going to go through with this fixed Hierophant energy, right? That's going to bring us our results. But then all this life happens. The water energy, another water energy, and, what we really need is the magician. The magician is the adaptability. The magician is that time traveler that knows, okay, I've gone through these 5 of Cups, whatever they might be, and I've gone through it again, and now I'm ready to kind of to step into that kind of time machine, that time portal, and start this thing again, pick up where we are and try to move forward on this timeline. But now, without this Hierophant energy, see, I think this is what we have to learn, is that we can't, things are not fixed, right? The universe is not predetermined. Things aren't written in stone. And with the Hierophant, it's that expectation that this is supposed to happen a certain way, right? And it's kind of like, if things don't go this certain way, there must be a mistake. I must be doing something wrong, or, something isn't right. But the magician takes everything as it comes, right? It's writing history in the moment, in the present. It's writing the future in the present moment, right? And that's that adaptability, that I have a general outline of what I want, but I know that's going to pretty much go out the window at some point. But I'm going to keep adapting to what's coming my way and processing everything in the present moment, not being so fixed in my expectations or in my plans that any deviation is going to really upset me, really throw me off my game. Yeah. And so to me, this is kind of, it's a transition from a Hierophant energy to a magician energy. Okay. So we have our majors. We've got our fire for sure. And that's going to be significant. We have just, I was going to say a little bit of water, but then we got some more water in there. So we have a lot of the water. And I think that the reason why we had this water and this water was because this was kind of the one thing that happened that we kind of know the details of, and I think it was an older female energy, something happened there. But then we got this other random 5 of Cups that flies into the situation, and this is the next thing that's going to upset you and knock your plans off course, and that's part of this 5 of Wands. So that's going to happen again. This card's kind of a future thing, and there's going to be something else, and I'm not predicting tragedy. It's life. Life happens. Other things are going to come in that are going to require your attention. We have the 5 of Wands, 5 of Cups. It's going to be, a push and a pull. It's going to be really a struggle to stay the course. And that's why we need that adaptability. Okay. And I think that's why we've got this air energy that we have here. And then with the Earth cards, we've got an ace, and then we've got our 6 of Pentacles. The 6 of Pentacles is in that weird position that says, I'm never going to get there. Like, this is the obstacle, is to actually find some sort of harmony here. And it's kind of like that's the, and see, we have obviously a 6 with the air energy. So it's kind of like this struggle to find some sort of a harmony, to find order in the chaos. But that's what this Ace of Pentacles is for. You could put this one on the 5 of Wands, and you got that harmony, that 6 of Wands. Or you could put it on the 5 of Cups, and then you've got a 6 of Cups. You've got that harmony there. So so we're creating that third 6 that we need to kind of to bring us that beauty, that balance, that harmony, that order in the chaos. There'll still be chaos, right? There will still be trouble and problems and up and downs and this wrestling and other Five of Cups that come in. But we've got the ability now to just deal with it, adapt, and continue on our path to kind of just start again, to pick up exactly where we are and take that next step forward toward our goals. So we can put this on either of these to create that kind of harmony that we need. And it's basically like, in some ways, we're accepting what's happening in our life and just saying this is a part of life. These are things that I have to deal with, contingencies and variables and surprises, right? I kind of feel like you're a person right now in your life, at least, that doesn't like surprises. But let's talk about, I know I'm all over the place today. I had my coffee this morning. Let's talk about the Six of Swords here, because this is a mind that is very organized right now. It's kind of like, shh, don't talk to me. I'm planning, I'm structuring, I'm doing the math here, you know? You don't want those distractions. You want things to be, you want to be able to focus, yeah. And I think that you're someone who likes to have things planned. And I think, especially right now in your life, you don't want the surprises. You don't like the surprises. I feel like that's what you're getting. Yeah, I feel like that's what you're getting, but I feel like you don't like them. And I think the Five of Wands here, in some ways, this kind of is the surprise, you know? That is the idea of being surprised anyway. Let's see. Spirit's showing me an inflamed shoulder. I don't know if you or someone close to you is having some kind of shoulder problems. But I almost feel like you've been writing for so much. I don't know if you're left-handed or right-handed. That you've been kind of hunched over your desk planning so much that you're just like, your shoulder's starting to get to you, right? Something like that. I feel the inflammation that's kind of happening in the arm and shoulder, you know, maybe the neck. The Five of Wands is that. The Five of Wands is the surprise. It is the soreness. It is the realization that I've been planning and planning and planning, and, you know, the more I plan, the more I have to revise my plans. It's kind of like, I wonder if sometimes you get stuck in this planning, this organizing, which is kind of like we're waiting for the exact right. We have this perfect plan, and it's almost like now we're just waiting for everything else to be perfect, right? What good is a perfect plan in an imperfect world? There's no compatibility. We kind of need a plan that's like, you know, I'll do ABC. When I get here, I don't know what the heck's going to happen. And then I'll go, you know, E, F, G, or whatever letters come next. So it's kind of like we're taking this ideal order and structure of things, and we're trying to apply it to a world that is disordered, right? And to me, that doesn't really make sense. Although, what else are we supposed to do, right? We can't make a plan that is a non-plan. We can't just say, my plan is to just do whatever. You know, we have to make a plan, but we have to be willing to revise it and change it and break it and throw it out the window if we need to. And that's the 10 of Swords. That's right up there at the top. Okay, because when things don't work out, and this is something that I think we have to learn with the Hierophant here, when things don't work out the way that you planned, it's not an indication of your worth. It does not mean that your plan was flawed. It doesn't mean that your goals are unrealistic. It just means that life happened. These fives happened. And the fives are really those things that are unpredictable. That are those surprises, for better or for worse. I mean, it could be this, you know, you're going through your, going according to plan, and suddenly, you know, there's a reason to celebrate, right? Someone's having a kid or something, or we're doing our plans and suddenly we realize, oh, it's the holidays. Now I got to put down what I'm doing and focus on these other things. The surprises could be joyous things, but I think right now you're not really in the mood for surprises. But the 10, yeah, I like the 10 of Swords. It's at the top of the path of the dove. And to me, there's a little frustration associated with that, because it does feel like we're constantly kind of having to revise things, and we're constantly having to scrap what we were doing or what our plans were, or like the schedule for next week. And now it's like, I got to redo my entire schedule now. Okay. And, I'm not sure what your goals are exactly, but I feel like they have a physical component as far as your location and, your family and your finances and stuff. But I think there's really also a deep kind of sense of purpose behind it, right? And I don't know if that maybe is connected. I feel still that older female energy that maybe still is in your life. And again, with the fives, the Five of Cups especially, we don't know if this is joy or sorrow, right? The Five of Cups is just kind of surprise emotions, right? It's just a wave of emotion that hits you. So I honestly don't know that this is someone that has passed. I don't know if this is something that you've been arguing or quarreling with that person, or if there was a separation. I almost feel like this is kind of someone that wants to spend more time with you or something, This is, like we're busy working and then our dog comes and just wants to go play ball, like brings us the tennis ball and we're like, okay, let's go play. We don't want to put our work down, but we know that we need to. We know that it's good for us. It's good for the dog too, right? So I kind of feel like it's something like that, not necessarily a loss or something sorrowful that is bringing this surprise to you. Yeah. But with the Hierophant, of course, we're kind of stuck in this we're in this fixed energy, right? Because with the Hierophant, I really do feel that this is fixed energy. This is an energy that does not like change, does not like surprises, does not like things to go against the established order. So I feel like this is the feeling that we get when our plans are interrupted, when we experience these variables and these surprises, and then we start to think, we kind of get thrown off our energy, We get thrown off course and we start to question everything, and we feel like the world's kind of crumbling around. Because with this, it's if things aren't going according to plan, then they're not going, right? But I think we're moving out of this energy here. And now, we didn't talk very much about the Eon or Judgment card, but I do feel like this is our entrance back into the work again, where it's fine. We've gone through whatever the water energy is that happens around us, and that's why I keep moving the Ace of Pentacles around, because we experience this, and then it's time to say, okay, I got to get back to work. And we go through this process again. And we wrestle with getting back on course. We wrestle with the surprises, the interruptions, whatever they might be, greater or lesser intensity surprises. But the Eon card is always that definite step to get back to work, to keep moving toward that future. And so I like the Ace of Pentacles. This is kind of like our poker chip, right? Or our chess piece that we're moving around. And I'm happy that we are going through this again and just saying, well, I've had to revise. This is like the 10th time I've had to revise my plans or change my schedule. But here I am again, ready to start the loop all over again. But it's not really a loop, right? Because every time we go through this cycle, I think we're making a little bit of progress. And it's one of these things that I think we have the end goal in mind. We know what we want 5, 10, 20 years down the road. But the route we take to get there might be a little bit more serpentine, might be a little bit more circuitous. Spirit has different ideas, right? It's not always the straight shot, X, Y, Z, boom, we're here. We might have to go through a lot of detours and a lot of kind of roundabouts, to get there. But we're still getting there. Yeah. And I think part of this too is being able to see that and appreciate that you are making progress, even if it does not feel that way or look that way in the moment, right? But let's go to the path of the serpent now. And as we do this, I'd like to ask for your subscription if you haven't subscribed yet. Please do. It's totally free. It doesn't cost you anything. Leave a comment for me. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want to show YouTube that this is a community that is worldwide, right? And I want it to be a very supportive community. And I will delete comments and block people that are negative or cruel or inappropriate towards each other. Towards me, I don't care. Say what you want to me or about me, but to each other, I wanted this to be a supportive community. Okay, so there's really like zero tolerance for any kind of nonsense here. I want it to be a nice, inviting place, supportive place. So let's go over to the Path of the Serpent now. We've got the Princess of Wands. And sometimes this is like that card that's just fed up with things and just wants to just wants to kind of torch the whole thing and just say, screw it then. If it's like that frustration you feel where if the dog keeps nagging you, eventually you're like, let's say you're like working on a model. Did somebody in your family do model airplanes or something? Because I feel there's like that very careful and tedious like work of glue or painting or something, or maybe that's in some way related to the work that you do. Anyway, it's kind of just like we keep getting interrupted. So we just take the whole thing, we just throw it in the garbage and say, I'm done with it. I'm not going to do it anymore, And to me, that's kind of a Princess of Wands response to things. So we need to keep this under wrap. And it's kind of an Aries response too, in a way. There is that tendency there to just be impulsive and just say, fine, So we have to pull back a little bit on that kind of impulsiveness. And this energy can be channeled then into this kind of excitement to experiment, to do something in a different way, to kind of take a few steps without the plan, without the safety net, without the piece of paper and the schedule and the itinerary in hand. Yeah. Build a little bit of the model without the instructions. Not the whole thing. At least I couldn't do it. It would be a complete I can't even build a gingerbread house over Christmas time. We couldn't do it. I'm not good like that. But take a few steps without it, and it's kind of an innovation. It's kind of a spontaneity. It's kind of like, let's just do a little improv here. Not everything has to be scripted. Yeah. And sometimes the very best television or movies or the very best plays or performances or anything that we're talking about, some of them are the best ones sometimes are those ones that were improvised. You read the IMDb about movies, the trivia or something, and that famous line from that famous movie, come to find out the actor just kind of improvised that. She didn't know what she was saying. It just kind of came out in the moment, And to me, that's a good way to kind of approach this as an opportunity for that, rather than that frustration that just says, well, I'm just going to smash the whole thing then, Now, there's a connection with foxes for you. I'm getting a lot of these funny impressions in your reading today. Did you have a pet? Can you have a fox as a pet? I feel like maybe it's a spirit animal, maybe it's talking about the kind of the mind, the clever kind of quick mind that you have or something. But I feel like somebody actually had a fox, or there's one that kind of came around your backyard a lot or something along those lines. Sometimes those details come in during a reading as just validations and confirmations for some of the energy that we're talking about. Okay. And I know I didn't talk too much about this older female energy, but I don't feel like it's someone that has passed. I feel like it's someone that is still with you. And I try not to read too much about living third parties in my readings, right? So if this is, a spouse or an older sibling, sister or something, I don't really want to try to read their energy if they're still around, right? You can go talk to them. It's kind of my attitude with that. But I do feel like there is this, they're part of the distraction in some way, but I feel like it's kind of it's a positive distraction, right? It's not something that it's not bad news that they're bringing, okay? But these things keep happening. So maybe there was bad news in the past, and one of the loops here was kind of a bad news thing, and now the next loop, it might be that we're kind of anticipating the bad news, right? And sometimes this Five of Cups here is us focusing on what has spilt, not realizing that we've got 2 more bottles behind us, right? It's like you spilled some of the drinking water, but you got a couple gallons still left, somebody ate all the crisps. Well, we got 2 more bags in the pantry. Yeah. So there's this, we're crying over the spilled milk. Yeah. But there's still a lot more milk. Now, I don't drink cow's milk. I drink soy milk or almond milk, or oat milk sometimes is good. But regardless of what we're drinking, there's this idea that we're kind of expecting the negative. We're focusing on what's missing and what's lost rather than on what we still have. Oh, hey, I was busy looking at this bad news. I didn't see that there's good news coming right behind it. Yeah. So I think we have to be open to that. And we never really know. As the wave comes up on shore, we don't know what it's bringing with us, right? I think we prepare ourselves for it to be a painful wave, but sometimes it's refreshing. Sometimes it's a blessing. Okay? And I think it's very important that we realize that, because the 5 of Cups is in the environment, and so it is the waves that are going to always, throughout our lives, always be lapping the shore, right? The waves are always are always coming in. There's always one after the other. Some are big, some are small, some are blessings, and some are painful. And that kind of is the nature of life. But we have to continue to work on our work, right? And getting to that 6 of Pentacles is very, very important, because this is kind of the card of the disbelief. This is what we are kind of having a difficulty with. And I think that this is a difficulty believing that we're making progress. Now, I don't know if there's something to do with the house. Maybe you live with this older female energy, but I feel there's something going on with your home or with your house. And it could be one of these things where there's maybe there was a repair that needed to be done that took a lot of your attention from what you're focused on. And then maybe kind of the next week, it's not that there's a repair. Now it's that there is a surprise delivery or something, which still takes your attention away, but it's something that's a blessing. It's not something that needs fixing. It's something that is, it's now maybe coming to be fixed, right? So it's not so much, one week it's that something breaks, the next week it's that something now is being fixed. It still takes the attention away. Yeah, something like that. But the earth energy here, I think, is very important. And this is recognizing that you can have this harmony, and that it is yours to, it is out there for you. And I think that it really is a matter of us adapting and harmonizing with the environment rather than trying to force the world to follow our plans that we've made. See, that 6 of Swords right there in the middle there. I feel we've got the Magus here, and I think this is the adaptability. This is us really moving forward with our plans and kind of learning how to let ourselves be spontaneous, let ourselves adapt to the situation. I feel like you're someone who's very skilled. I feel like you've had a lot of training or education, a lot of discipline with learning. Maybe maybe you're in the medical field, or you have some sort of medical training, maybe military medical training. Thank you for your service. I feel like you know more than one language. I feel like you have the kind of training that takes a lot of discipline. Okay, so I kind of getting a bit of a military vibe here. Okay, or first responder, or frontline kind of person in some way. All right. And I think it's kind of like I wasn't in the military. I was an EMT for a short time. But I feel like it's that kind of thing where we're trained to do things a certain way. But then when we're out in the field, it doesn't happen that way, right? We have to respond in that improvisational way. We have to be spontaneous. It's like we have our training to kind of work through us, but it's not going to be the classroom situation, right? It's a real world situation. It's never going to be the same as the classroom or as the laboratory, right? In that controlled environment. We train in the controlled environment, but how do you train for chaos? How do you train for the unexpected variables? you know. I think that's kind of the dilemma. That's kind of the split that we feel here. And that really is very much the difference between the Hierophant and the Magician. The Magician will adapt and make the best out of everything. You got this MacGyver kind of consciousness to you. I don't know if people still remember MacGyver, but see, that's kind of like someone that has, you've learned how to adapt to the chaos, right? And that's kind of, I know that's a contradiction, and it's meant to be, because I don't think we can necessarily train for that. We do the best we can, you know? We train ourselves almost how to respond to things that are new and novel and chaotic and random and unpredictable. Let's look at the mystery card now. I want to see some very successful energy here. I want maybe your power card, an emperor card. I want a 9 or a 10 of pentacles. I want a wheel of fortune. I want something that says this is progressing and you are prospering. You are getting to your goals, whatever they are. If you have a prediction, put it down in the comments. Let's see what we have. Well, the star, that's quite good too. And this, I think, is that confirmation or that reassurance that you are doing things that are meant for you. You are following your guiding light, your lodestar. You are fulfilling your destiny. And it's kind of like you've got that star way out there in the cosmos, and that's yours. And you know it's yours. But the journey from here to there, kind of going to be a wild one, right? It's not just a straight shot. It's, again, we try to train for as much as we can, but it's never going to go according to plan. It's never going to go by the book, right? From here to that star, you know. If something can go wrong, it will go wrong, and we have to adapt. And we have to realize that this is all part of the harmony. We have to find a way to harmonize with this reality, right? Otherwise, we will be at odds against it because it will not harmonize to us, you know. Also, a reminder to drink more water. Someone's not drinking enough water out there. You got to drink more water, okay? Follow your doctor's advice. I'm not a doctor. It's not a medical reading. Hydrate. Someone's got an issue with hydration. Okay. We're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, click on the link either above or below in the video description. There should be a link. New readings for Aries every Monday and Friday, 6 a.m. Chicago time. But I'm here every day. Just come on back tomorrow. See me again. Okay. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free. It doesn't cost you anything. And it really does support the channel, helps the channel out, and I appreciate that. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.